Hello and welcome to 5 and 5, where we take 5 minutes to ask industry leaders 5 questions on how they are navigating the crazy time we're living in. And we have Avery Akkineni with us. Avery is the head of Vayner Media for APAC. Thanks for joining us, Avery.
Thank you so much for having me, Natasha. It's a pleasure to be here.
So let's get right into it. Could you please share what your party trick is, or if you have one?
Yeah, that's a very fun question. I make a mean, dirty martini, so that is my party trick.
Oh, love it. You'll be invited to our next party. So Vayner Media is famously forward-thinking. Are there any key things that working there has taught you?
Yeah, Vayner Media and sort of the founder of Vayner, Gary Vaynerchuk, is certainly known for being innovative and sort of thinking outside of the box. And some of the things that I've learned at Vayner, because I was previously coming from the corporate world, I worked at Google in a company called Target in North America before Vayner, is that it's okay to be different and it's okay to think differently. And some of the most forward-thinking ideas are the ones that are most often challenged. In hindsight, of course, people always look back at the pioneers with very favorable language, but the way that that actually manifests when you are thinking a bit differently in the moment can be a little bit challenging. And I think at Vayner, we really have a strong philosophy and a strong point of view of the way that we think marketing can work best. And it's okay to think differently than others and also different than the kind of typical agency school of thought. So I think that's one thing I've learned at Vayner.
So are there any challenges or opportunities that you've noticed in the last few months or weeks?
Absolutely. I think the past months have definitely been a challenge, particularly for me, since we opened this office only in July of 2019 with myself and one person. And now, we're over 50 and, being in the process of building a new team and having something like this happen within our first year as, sort of being together is certainly challenging, particularly as there's quite a communal, more of a family style culture for the office. And we are not, prior to this, really a work from home type of company. A lot of our best work happened together, collaborating side by side, creatives and media working together and sitting sort of co-located. So this definitely, the move to work from home was a huge adjustment for us. And thankfully, we've been able to pull it off and make it happen through a lot of the amazing technology that's available. But it's certainly hard, even as we're sort of forming the culture as a team to be doing that remotely. That's been challenging for us.
I bet. How have you kind of overcome that? Or, what are you putting in place to move beyond that and help to sort of forge and bring those ideas together?
Of course, a lot of the technology things like this certainly help. Being able to look at people eye to eye is a big difference instead of just being kind of cameras off. I think that helps. But actually what how I've seen the team come together in interesting ways is, a little bit out of the office socializing, like on house party or playing trivia as a team on, at night, actually has helped people stay connected. Different folks on my team will do things like a cooking show during lunch, or they'll all do Zumba together during the day as like a kind of work break. And I think that's actually really helped to keep the culture strong, which ultimately keeps people motivated and stay in touch with each other, even when we can't sort of physically be together. We've done a bunch of, Zoom happy hours and dinners and that kind of thing. And I think the culture elements, keeping those strong, even in these type of times, are probably more important than the business check-ins on Zoom, because after a few weeks and months, even those do become a bit monotonous as well.
For sure. So talking about business, are there any initiatives that you've been really inspired by that you've seen? Maybe some of your clients?
And I think this time of sort of this unprecedented time has demanded unprecedented creativity. And it's been really fun on our own personal side. And we recently launched a campaign for one of our clients in Singapore in the insurance space. And we got the brief, and 2 weeks later, the campaign was live. We worked with different influencers to bring it to life. We actually even had one of the influencers join the press conference, make it interesting and humorous because we needed to react a lot more quickly and bring forward this product launch by several months just due to a number of factors related to COVID. So that was something that was really great. And I'm very inspired by the many companies who are looking to be a force for good in this. Of course, I think it's not really the time for anything like a hard sell and all that type of messaging. It's really not resonating today. But what is resonating is brands who are doing the right thing, brands who are offering things like free COVID coverage to Singaporeans, or donating masks to essential workers, or using their factories to produce hand sanitizer, as many companies in the alcohol and beverage space and perfume space are doing. Those are really admirable kind of corporate citizen behaviors that I really admire. And we're fortunate to have, you know, many of our partners participating in that kind of thing as well.
For sure. Well, I think that that's a great place to leave it at. We're just over 5 minutes. So thank you so much, Avery. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
This has been 5 and 5.